So thank you to FlexiSpot for sponsoring this video. And this chair is the chair that I've been using every single day for when I actually work. So I do sit and edit a lot all day for my YouTube channel and also for Instagram and TikTok. And I'm on my computer all day. And for my old gaming chair that I used to use all the time, it had no back support. And I did actually need to add a little bit more cushion for my lower back because there was no lumbar support. And when I did add a little bit more cushion, I didn't have as much space to actually sit on the chair, and it made the overall chair a little bit more uncomfortable. But with this new chair that I have, first of all, it is this mesh material, which does make the chair overall a lot more cool. It's not as hot, especially compared to leather material chairs. And also the lower back support is great. It is dynamic, so it does move around and give you better support, you know, when you put your lower back on it. So it gives you better support while you're sitting and if you're moving around. And also with this headrest, it is adjustable as well. You can adjust the height and also angle of the headrest. And also with the armrest, it is customizable as well. You can make it go forward and backwards, up and down. You can move it sideways as well. It supports up to 300 pounds. And also another thing that I really like about this chair is that because I don't have to put extra cushions for support for my lower back, I can actually crisscross applesauce on the chair. Also, another thing that I love about this chair is that I'm fully able to go back and rest as well if I do need to, as well as an option to adjust the height. There's also a forward seat tilt option which lets you customize the seat, and there's a 128-degree backrest recline which lets me go all the way back and rest. There's also a 30-day return policy if you're not happy with the chair, as well as a 3-year warranty period. And this chair is suitable for anyone that is sitting for long periods of time, or if you just want a comfortable chair with really good support for your back, this also is a great option. So if you guys do want to get it, I'll leave a link in the description box. And also there is a code in the description box as well if you guys do want a discount, and for a very affordable price you can get an amazing chair that feels very comfortable. Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Sole Drop, and this is my review of the 361 degrees AG Whale 2. So this is of course a slide, and slides are essential if you are a hooper, because I don't know, a lot of hoopers don't like to wear their hoop shoes outside, I guess. I see a lot of people, they come to the basketball court with their slides and then switch into their hoop shoes, and then, you know, when they're done, they switch back, you know what I mean? So I don't understand that, you know, you can just wear your hoop shoes outside, but you know, a lot of people like to do that. So I guess, you know, slides are essential, and a comfortable slide is also essential, right? So yeah, this is the AG Whale 2 and it retails for $60, which is a little bit expensive, but that's like around average pricing, I guess, for a slide. And also this slide is extremely freaking comfortable. And also another thing that I really like about this slide is that it uses a drop-in midsole, which is, look at this guys. Look at the drop-in. So it has kind of like this notch right here, the circle notch, and also on the bottom of the slide, we have a circle notch, right? So you kind of like unhook that a little bit and then just take out the drop-in, and there you go. And then you got the drop-in midsole, you know? So anyways, let's get it started off with the traction. And obviously, you know, you're not gonna be hooping it. You probably shouldn't open these, you know, but we have foam, and they're calling this quick foam light. So basically this whole structure, the outsole, like the top of the slide as well, besides the drop-in, this is quick foam light. So yeah, I mean, we have this interesting pattern of like lines and kind of like grooves inside of the lines, you know what I mean? But one thing that I like about the Wade slide, you know, which I wear a lot as well, but this has kind of like been my slide that I've been wearing inside of my apartment, right? But one thing that I like about the Wade slide a little bit better is that you have like actual rubber, you know, in the forefoot and in the heel. So if you are the type of person to wear the slide on like outside on the pavement, obviously that'll be a lot more detrimental to the outsole, because if you're wearing your slides outside, it'll wear out the foam a lot quicker, right? So in this slide, you don't have that. You just have foam. That's just like most slides. Most slides are just foam here on the outsole, which makes sense. But that's just something I like about the Wade slide a little bit more, for the better durability, obviously, right? But like I said, for me, I am wearing these inside, just in my apartment, so durability doesn't really matter, right? So there is the outsole there. And now moving on to the cushioning setup. So the cushioning setup, like I mentioned before, this is a drop-in, and the foam that they're using is the NRG N40 midsole. So I don't know what that is, because they've never used that in their hoop shoes. But it's freaking soft and really comfortable, and it reminds me a lot of the Yeezy foam runners, and the overall design also is like I would say very inspired by the foam runners as well, you know what I mean? But there are obviously some key differences which we'll go over, but yeah, so there is a lot of compression, and because it is a drop-in midsole, your foot is right on top of the foam, so you can feel the foam right underneath your foot. So in the forefoot, in the midfoot, and also here in the heel, you have a good amount of compression because it's a really, really soft foam. Here in the forefoot, it is a little bit thinner, right? So you don't feel it as much, but in the heel, it's actually a good amount thicker and it feels really, really nice and very, very comfortable. But one thing that I did notice that I don't like as much is that it's pretty bottom heavy, you know what I mean? So the overall slide is bottom heavy as far as like the overall weight goes, right? The weight distribution, but also it just feels like there's a lot underneath your foot, because there is a lot underneath your foot, right? So you have this whole drop-in midsole, right? And then you have another EVA right here, right? So you have all of this foam underneath your foot plus drop midsole. So like obviously it doesn't really matter because you're not hooping, you're not running or anything, they're just slides, but you do feel like it's thick, you know? So the court feel, you know, I would say is not the best. And like I said, you know, if you're casually walking around, it doesn't really matter all too much, but honestly, like it does feel pretty dang high up off the ground, which is kind of, it's not super comfortable if you're walking around everywhere, you know what I mean? But other than that, like it's a really, really comfortable cushioning setup because the foam, like that's right underneath the foot, is extremely soft. Also, as far as the overall design goes, we got the AG logo here on the side of the shoe and the heel, which is pretty cool. That's obviously Aaron Gordon's logo. This is Aaron Gordon's slide. And like I mentioned before, we have the quick foam light foam, right? So yeah, we have that foam pretty much coming into the top of the slide here in the forefoot and midfoot. And we also kind of have this like V shape, right, on top of the slide. Very reminiscent of the foam runners, right? But one thing that I like about this slide a little bit more is that it's just open. You know, it's more of like a slide. The foam runner isn't really a slide, it's more like a shoe kind of, because you have this heel part and you kind of like put it on and you do have a little bit better like lockdown, I would say, you know what I mean? But you know, if you're just casually just walking around, this is a little bit more comfortable. You know, just slide it on, take it off, you know? As far as the fit goes, for me, I did go up half a size because I do like my slides to run a little bit long. I don't like a very snug fit for my slides. I like a very snug fit for my hoop shoes, but for my slides, I like to have a little bit more relaxed fit. But as far as like the overall fit goes, you should be fine if you want a really snug fit going true to size. But you know, if you want to be a little bit more relaxed, go up half a size. And if you want to really relax, go up a full size, right? But also, like I mentioned before, this slide is pretty bulky. So on top of your foot, you have all this foam, which isn't a huge deal. But then, like I said, it is very bottom heavy. You have a lot of foam underneath your foot and you have all of this. You know, so the actual midsole stops right here. Your heel is supposed to go all the way just like to the edge of this. And then you have another kind of like inch or two of like foam, which, you know, this is extra kind of foam that's just like there, you know what I mean? So it feels a little bulky, so just be wary of that. If you don't want a slide to be super bulky feeling, then I guess go true to size. But like I said, if you want a little bit more relaxed, should be fine going up half a size, right? And as far as like the overall design goes, I do like it. You know, this kind of like tie-dye, you know, black and dark gray color for the colorway that I have. This looks great, and the overall design does look really good. I do like this kind of emblem here as well. And also, obviously, the ventilation holes, right? But the ventilation hole kind of like design is a little bit weird. And obviously, like I said, it is inspired by the foam runners. But yeah, on the medial side, you know, if you're wearing these slides like without socks, your big toe will kind of show right here and just looks weird, you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, obviously if you're wearing it with socks, you'll be fine. It's not a huge deal, but just kind of having your big toe kind of poking out here, it looks kind of weird, you know what I mean? So I wish they would have not put it here, maybe a little bit more up and back. But other than that, I do like how this slide looks overall. So yeah, if you want a very comfortable slide, this is a very good option. But there are a couple of cons, which aren't a deal breaker in my personal opinion. But it's just a little bulky and a little bit like kind of bottom heavy as well, especially with how long it is here in the heel too. So besides that, it's very, very nice, and the overall design is very familiar as well. So anyways, that about concludes my review of the 361 Degrees AG Whale 2. Again, if you guys do want to cop a, try to leave a link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.